Welcome back, and joining me for a closer look at what's playing itself out on the market scene is Shaun Dendere from Trive Investments. Thank you so much for your time. Shaun, of course, something that we all cannot escape is NVIDIA. Somebody asked me last night if I was up waiting for the results, and I said, please no, I am not in Shaun Dendere's shoes. I'm just an anchor. So let's start off with NVIDIA. Triple-digit growth in revenue. They did a share buyback. But we did see the pressure on the stock. Still not enough for investors.
So, as you said, they had really brilliant numbers. And sometimes I think that after hours trading is not a true reflection of that news in the market. So NVIDIA announced, their results post the US market close. And everyone was edgy from a trading perspective, low volumes at night. And that's why you can see in today that, the markets have kind of priced it in properly with regards to where the share price and the indices are going up today.
All right. Well, I mean, just talking about that, because we also did get some solid data coming out of US GDP. I think this is the second preliminary print. I don't know how many prints they do have on that GDP, but it seems that we have to digest all of them. Speaking on that economy, is it still on solid ground?
Honestly speaking, in my opinion, is that the US economy has been on solid ground. If we look historically in the past, let's call it this past 8 months, we had very strong NFP numbers, very strong wage growth, despite the fact that, interest rates were quite high. And as you can see, inflation is finally starting to taper down. We're seeing from the Fed that they're going to, potentially cut those interest rates on that side. So it's just going to be a knock-on effect from the growth perspective of the US, and the environment might just slightly be easier going forward.
And actually, just talking about the expectation for interest rate cuts, do you think that that could filter through to PGMs? Of course, we know Impala Platinum released their results today, really cementing the same story that we've seen, that we are still in a downturn in terms of PGM pricing. Let's actually start with, do we actually expect some sort of recovery, even if it's short-term or short-lived, from the cuts in interest rates on the PGM sector?
Personally, I don't think so. And it's just, the environment that we're moving towards. We're moving towards more a green environment. So some of those products, their demand over time is going to, I think, dissipate. So we're potentially going to be seeing a bit of a struggle. I think even with Impala, I think they're not even going to open, new mines, whether it be South Africa, Zimbabwe, etc.
Yeah.
And the price of palladium and platinum has been under pressure for a very long time. Yes, maybe the interest rates might support that, but from a demand perspective, we need to be quite wary going forward.
All right. Well, I mean, just looking at Imbala's results, it's what we expected in terms of pricing, because production-wise, they met guidance. And they're also talking about, nice cost control there. But really, the big thing is the PGM pricing. And what was quite surprising to me is that as much as we expected the pressure from the PGM pricing, the share price still managed to slump by, I think, almost 3%. How are investors feeling about Impala at this point?
I think the sentiment is not that positive, and I mean, it leads into what I was saying, going forward from a pricing perspective and moving to more green energy. I mean, some of their products, for example, they make use them for catalytic converters on cars. Cars are going a lot more greener. So as an investor, in my opinion, I'm not seeing any positive green shoots from that front.
All right. Well, just talking about we also did have some results coming out of South 32 there. Of course, a decrease in their bottom line as well. What are you feeling about South 32, particularly being a diversified miner now and not one that is focused on a single commodity like Impala Platinum?
You see, South 32 is in a privileged position to be quite diversified. I mean, they've got operations in Australia, operations in South Africa and Mozambique. Most of their cash currently is coming out of their operations in Mozambique. And with going back to earlier in our conversation with the landscape that we are seeing, interest rates are going to decrease. They've got, well, hopefully, they've been managing their costs quite well. As much as the numbers are down, from a balance sheet perspective, the balance sheet is quite strong. I think they've actually even reduced their debt by selling off some of their assets. So going forward, I think, the CEO, I think he is a good man to steer the ship out of these tough times.
All right. Well, let us get to your stock pick for today, Shaun. What are you choosing?
Funny enough, I'll be choosing NVIDIA as much as there was after hours edgy trading. Do strongly see that the AI revolution is here. It's here to stay. They recently had a stock split, so it's a bit more accessible for the consumer to actually buy shares. The share buyback, the $50 billion share buyback that just got recently approved, we're probably going to be seeing an increase in earnings per share. So it's a stock that I'll definitely be looking to buy and hold for the long term.
All right. I see that it has reversed some of those losses that we saw in after hours trading. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how it closes today and how it performs in tomorrow's trading session. Thank you so much for your time and for your analysis on what has been moving investors' money today, Shaun. That was Shaun Dendere from Trive Investments.